Welcome dart players one and all. Today on Straight to the Point we are going to be swapping out some dart points using a cheap traditional point changer. So most traditional point changers will come like this, and you'll see a little hole on the top which you can insert a thick Allen key to twist. That is my previous point changer. I still use it now and again, but on this point changer, which is still a very basic model, it is slightly different. You just get a bar instead. So rather than having the hole on the top, you have a little hole on the side of it. You can thread that through at the end to want to fasten up this little notch around the point. Get it nice and tense. Make sure you don't over tighten those so you can break the pointer. And simple. So what you're doing is just twisting the top and pulling the dart from the point. Easy. Now with repointing, depending on how old the dart is or really how many times you've had the point changed in the past, you may need to use a little bit of super glue. So if it's a new dart, you should be fine just to put the point straight back in. The reason for this is inside this little hole that the point is going into, it would be slightly narrower the top end, so the pressure will actually force the dart in. Now the more times it gets forced in, the bigger this gap will become inside, the more it wears away, and when it does finally wear away completely, a little bit of super glue will do the job. I recommend this particular brand, which is Loctite. I've been using this for well over 10 years. Loctite Super Gel. But anything that's quick drying gel should suffice. And simple, you're just doing the same process in reverse. So you want to find out how far you want the dart to be pushed in firstly. Lock it down. And push it in. Now the art to getting these right is getting the points all the same length. So just show you a couple of tricks on how we can do that as well. If you're using a Target Storm Points or any other brand that has this little built-in Trident 180 function on it, you can only push the dart in so far. So that's all worked out for you, nice and easy. If you're not, I will match up different parts of the tool to see how far it's protruding and match it up to that. So in this case, I'm just going to go up to the black, the same as I have on this point. But anything will do. Cut a little bit of paper, match it up to that. And when you've got that protrusion right, so all you've got to do then is lock it in. And you know that as long as you push the dart in all the way up to where it's locked in, it's going to be the same height as the others. And the points are exactly the same length. The key thing is to make sure the points are going in straight. If you do push the point in and you're finding that it's loose, this is a saving grace. Tiniest bit of glue. That's it. It's literally that much. It is such a small amount. You wouldn't think it would be good enough, but as long as you buy the right stuff, like that, you are fine. Just keeping the barrel up so the glue doesn't run. Push it in a tiny bit, just enough to keep the point there. And then quickly and then push it in as so, same as you would before. You might not even need to use a tool to push it in if you are having this problem. Depends on how loose the point is. And there we go. That is that done. Of course you can just put glue in them even if you don't have the problem, just to to keep them extra firm, but it's not really needed as long as you're getting a good tight fit. Rub up against that. Another tool. And that is spot on. Anyway, that is how you repoint darts. It's a lot easier than a lot of people make out. I would always recommend switching your points and trying different lengths as well as different thicknesses. That's something that people don't really take into consideration. So with these points I was using, they are particularly thick. Gives me great grip in the board, but it can cause the dart to land at a slightly different angle. I find they land a little bit flatter with a thicker point, me personally. But when you consider how much money people spend on darts these days, buying and swapping new darts, and then they complain about the price on these things. Now, yeah, they are expensive. They're about £40 roughly. But it's such an important part of the dart. It's like saying never change your shafts or flights again. You'd spend the £30. The point has as much effect as your flight or your shaft length. It really does. It makes such a big part of the dart. And a lot of players, I find that I've had players in pubs and clubs come up to me before saying, oh, I really don't like these darts, I can't get used to them. I said, well, just try a different length point. If they're not very stable, try a shorter point. If you're finding they're blocking the targets a bit, try a longer point. And they've done it and they've been happy. It's not worth not buying. If you're really looking to swap and change things with your darts to find what's right for you, this tool is a must, in my opinion. So anyway, that is it for today. That has been straight to the point. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe.